To Pretoria now, where yet another back and forth requests for consultations and postponements in the resumption of the Meyiwa trial. 5 men accused of killing the soccer star are back in the North Gauteng High Court. In the last court appearance, Adv Teffo, representing accused 1 to 4, had indicated he wants to contest the jurisdiction of the court to preside over the trial. But in a turn of events, Teffo has now written to the National Director of Public Prosecutions, Shamila Pitoi, demanding that charges against his clients be dropped. Let's go to our reporter, Silindelo Masikane, who's been following court proceedings. Slee, what do you know about the letter that has been written by accused number 3?
So we've caught sight of that letter that's been written by accused number 3, Mtobi Simncube, in terms of the issues that he's raising with the court about his conditions at the Kgosi-Mampuru prison. From what we understand, just perusing through it, he is detailing issues around solitary confinement, saying that he's being kept in solitary confinement for about 23 hours in a day, only being let out to exercise for about an hour. He says there are issues around the phones in prison. He is unable to contact his family members. When he does, it's for about 5 minutes, and possibly that happens once a month because there are issues in terms of the phones inside prison actually working. He also says that he's having issues around food, saying that even though he's trying to organize and be able to, get his own food inside prison, it's just been quite difficult. So he is asking the court, of course, for some assistance or some protection in this matter. And at this point, we have adjourned proceedings until 2 p.m. to allow the state to be able to contact the head of correctional services or the head of the Kgosi-Mampuru prison, get an indication as to what can be done to address these issues, or have an official come to court to maybe give an assurance that these conditions can be addressed. So we understand that State Prosecutor George Baloyi is on the phone dealing with that matter at this point. But let's just take a listen to some of those submissions from Adv Teffo.
Most of the time, accused number 3 is the first person here. The reason it's been late is because of this letter. And this letter has been a subject of discussion for many times. Actually, not only that contains that. The contents, as the previous time. They've been the subject of, they've even been the subject of this court. I wouldn't understand why would my learned colleague be concerned about the adversaries that may be in that letter. Accused number 3 is already, I once said, it's on record that if this court cannot be expeditious, it may be possible that when this court or this matter, this trial finalized, accused number 3 is 6 feet under. So he has suffered enough. He even informed the court, the prison, that today I'm going to make sure the court understand my plight at this prison. So you cannot now that the head of the prison must be here. When it suits him or her and fearing the adversaries in the letter, it cannot be. And Your Lordship, it has been said previously, we requested that during the time when we were still this discussion of the prison condition of accused number 3 was so fashionable. There was a stage whereby I requested this honorable court if they can summon the head of the prison. The head of prison had the opportunity to come here and to respond to the allegations which were made against that prison.
And you spoke to AfriForum, which of course is on a watching brief for some of Meyiwa's family members. What are their thoughts?
Well, we saw Advocate Gerrie now make his way back to the North Gauteng High Court to see how proceedings would be unfolding today, and we get a sense from Advocate now that all of these issues, these applications, should have been done well before the trial got underway, and that all this is doing really is delaying the processes in which the trial should be unfolding in. But also I got a sense from him that, of course, there are issues with regards to how this case has been handled from the very beginning, especially around the issues of the two dockets, two different teams, collection of evidence, issues of tampering, just many issues tainting how this particular trial is unfolding. And he's saying that, I put it to him to say, look, we have these 5 men on the stand. You've continuously said that there is a mastermind behind this case who is yet to be arrested, who is yet to be revealed. Do we know how far investigations into that are going? This is what Advocate Nel had to say.
One would not expect two dockets by two different teams in the South African Police Service investigating. And if you have two dockets, well, you would expect the two teams to work together. So no, I'm very critical, but as far as the trial is concerned, there was a decision taken on this specific docket for this trial, and we should proceed with this specific trial. If there's issues about disclosure, that should be dealt with. But we'll have to wait, because we've heard so much in this matter about was there disclosure, wasn't there disclosure. So I really hope it's the last, as you frame it, administrative issue, because we should not have any administrative issues once a matter in the High Court starts.
So, Sleed was very clear that Advocate Adv Teffo just wanted to read his client's letter into the record, whether or not the state would be able to do something about what he's complaining about or not. But I guess at 2 o'clock after this lunch break, we'll be hearing on whether or not the state has been able to make a plan for accused 3.
That's what we're expecting. We'll either have an official, perhaps from Correctional Services here, Khosi Prison is not too far from where the High Court is situated, or perhaps we'll have an indication with regards to an affidavit or a letter sent by prison officials in terms of whether they'll be able to address the concerns by accused number 3, because we know at this point that it seems that his life is really what hangs in the balance here, and Judge Maumela has been clear to say that he does not want that hanging over his head, that he wants to ensure that everyone in this particular matter, their safety is guaranteed.
All right, Silindelo Masikane live for us in the High Court in Pretoria. Thanks. Let's leave it there for now.